finally saw A Quiet Place. Uh, saw it at a local theater in my city. So, so I saw it in a theater that has it's a small theater, but it's very very old, but it's classic. I like it. Don't go there very often, but movies that have been out for a certain amount of time, so like 3 to 4 months, um, it ends up there practically. A decent crowd tonight, about 30 people. I didn't count, but 30 people. I'm in this room, not the other one, but this room for just from time to time, just different atmosphere and um, why not? Well, I'll go back and forth, but uh, I actually didn't think I was going to see it tonight, but I did anyway, and I liked this movie. I hated it, and I loved it at the same time. I'm having to process it more and more. I might spoil a few things, only because it's been out for 2 months now. So you're warned. There's not too much to spoil. However, when I walked in, like the theater, not that the theater, but when I walked in and saw the big screen, it showed the scene where they're all walking on the bridge. That one scene where they're walking on the bridge together and staying quiet the entire time that happened. I did not expect that. That was very ironic. I thought that was going to happen a half hour in the movie, but it happens at the very, very beginning. Not the beginning, but like the very beginning. But we were a few minutes late. Here is supposed to start 7:15, so we showed up at like 7:30. But that happens right at the very get go. So I knew exactly what was going to happen because YouTube likes to spoil scenes. That's just what it is today. And I saw the whole scene practically, but it doesn't show um, like what happens after that. Just the guy from The Office, John Krasinski from The Office, shows him just doing that when he grabs his son and turns black. Spoiler. Like I said, once he does that, um, cuts to a black screen, and it shows like day 473. But this movie reminds me a lot of like The Shining and Jaws and previous movies I can't think of the moment. So let me check the time real quick. Cool. But all right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Just make sure it's recording. So this movie is not that long when you think about it. It's it runs a decent amount of time, but I feel like the ending is like a cliffhanger, and there's like only one alien. Very suspenseful, not really horror, but very suspenseful. I'm really really glad I got to see it. I'll give this like a little over 10 ratings, so like no, a little over 11 or 12. I rate movies very differently, but it's an hour and 31 minutes. But the movie 99% of the time is very quiet. There's one scene that's just with Emily Blunt, the mother. She does a excruciatingly painfully has a baby, and she's probably one of the strongest women I've ever seen. But she's trying to stay quiet. She's giving birth, trying to stay quiet, and that's far beyond painful for women, because giving birth is painful, excruciatingly painful. But the concept is to stay quiet, and she steps on a nail and just nails it right in there, and she didn't make a sound, not one time. She might have eased up a bit, maybe small sounds, but nothing too huge. There are no other people in this movie besides the fan. But I really, really enjoyed this. Very, very different. Very different concept. I hope there will be a sequel. And the section I was with, a couple people, very funny, that were in front of us. It was like, once she acted a certain way, with the nail and the baby and trying to be quiet. is He was like, "What the fuck? This shit's weird as fuck." It's funny. Yeah, the kids just as good as the cast from It. But of course, they talk like 2% of the time, maybe 3%. They're sign language. This movie is great with sign language. Just great sign language. I jumped and flunged, whatever you want to say. Take your pick. I jumped 12 times. There are a lot of jump scares, for me at least, in this movie. I jumped way too much than I should have. I was really, really frustrated and annoyed. It's very obnoxious. 12 times. The beginning, and great sound effects. The theater was very, very loud, so you could hear everything. I jumped 12 times. I counted 2. It's unacceptable, man. Come on. It's not, like I said, it's not really a scary movie, but it's very suspenseful. Mom said that. Highly recommend checking it out, even if you're not going to go to the theater. There's very little talk. They do go into like under this basement, and it's all lit up. There's water pouring down in it, and the mom has to save the baby with the alien in there, but so it's crazy. That's my review that I can think of for Quiet Place. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to see it tonight, but I did, and I'm glad I did. And perfect size theater. The reaction from the crowd was, appropriate. Besides the couple that was in front of me, they were fun about it, but definitely recommend checking this out. It's very different movie, very, very different from the rest of them that you see these days. I'm trying to think of one more thing I can say. I said the kids were great. There's going to be jump scares, at least 12. And see the movie, like from the very, very beginning. Very, very quiet. Great cinematography too. very funny too. Like the acting, like Neo and trying to be quiet the whole time and sign language is just come on. Oh, so like, you know what to do. Please check this out. It'll probably go on DVD and Blu-ray next month. So